Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back into the video today. And today we have a thriller to talk about. Georgia takes down Tennessee in overtime. It's a heartbreaker for Tennessee. Tennessee had an opportunity to, end the game with a game-winning field goal from 42 yards out. Couldn't do it. Goes to overtime. They make a field goal in overtime. Gives Georgia the ball back, a touchdown, wins it. Georgia scores a touchdown. Look, anybody looking to blame the kicker for in this situation, I wouldn't blame the kicker in this situation. I think at the end of the day, you blame the offensive line for this situation. Tennessee, the Volunteers were at the 20-yard line, which would have been a 37-yard kick, and they have a false start that takes them to 25-yard line with 7 seconds left. Then the kicker has to come out there with 7 seconds left to kick a 42-yard field goal, which would have been a 37-yard kick if the false start doesn't happen. And if the false start doesn't happen, I think Tennessee probably runs a play there, probably gets 2 or 3 yards on a run, and we're looking at a 34, 35-yard field goal. And that's a much easier kick than a 42-yard. I believe it's probably good if it's in the range of 34 to 37 for the kicker, Max Gilbert. And so it's really tough for Gilbert. He should have made a 42-yard kick. That is his fault. But I think it all starts with the false start that was committed by Tennessee on that last drive. But this was still one hell of a game. Let's go over it. All right, scoring summary we're going to go over first. Joey Aguilar was just spectacular in this game. He had the first score for Tennessee on a 4-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0. The first two scores of the game were actually, touchdown runs by both of the quarterbacks. Stockton had a 6-yard touchdown run to make it 7-7. Then we saw a couple touchdowns from Tennessee. They had a 14-point lead in this game. We saw Aguilar connect with Chris Brazel, the second, on 72 yards, 14-7. Then connects with Brazel again, 14 yards this time, and it's 21-7. Moving on to the second quarter, those were all the scores in the first quarter. In the second quarter, Stockton throws a 36-yard touchdown pass to Zachary Branch. It's 14-21. Then a field goal by Peyton Woodring by 20 yards, makes it 17-21 at half. Moving on to the third quarter, Georgia takes their first lead and extends the lead even more. A Josh McCray 1-yard touchdown run, makes the Georgia lead 3. Then another field goal for Woodring, this one from 48 yards, takes the lead to 6, 27-21. But third touchdown for Chris Brazel. Just an unbelievable day for him. Joey Aguilar and him connect through 56 yards. It's 28-27. Another Woodring field goal for the first quarter of the fourth quarter, as it was a busy fourth quarter, from 24 yards, makes it 30-28. Then another deep touchdown pass from Joey Aguilar, who was just spectacular today. 32-yard touchdown pass to Braylon Staley, and it's 35-30. Then a Gilbert 48-yard field goal makes it 38-30. And that's where I can't, it's hard to make excuses for him to miss the 42. You can make a 48, but you can't make a 42 is something I don't understand. I know every kicker always has an off kick here and there, but in that situation with the pressure, and I get the pressure definitely, played a role. I mean, literally in overtime, he made a 42-yard kick. So he's capable of doing it. He made the 42-yarder in overtime. He made the 48-yarder, at the end of the, at the game with 6 minutes left, but just had a bad kick. And I think with the pressure that's in that situation, definitely makes it harder. But there was a lot of pressure when he made the kick to make it 38-30, or when he made the kick in overtime to make it 41-38. But then Georgia ties the game. Landon Humphreys has a 20-yard touchdown reception from Gunner Stockton. Then they go for 2. He throws it to Zachary Branch. 2-point conversion's good. It's 38-38. Then we see the 42-yard field goal by Gilbert, which should have been made in regulation. Then they win this ball game. But no, this one was in overtime. Makes it 41-38. And Josh McCray with another 1-yard touchdown run. 44-41 is the final score. Score for game leaders. Both quarterbacks were spectacular today. Aguilar just made a couple of different mistakes with 2 picks, but 24 for 36 for Aguilar with 371 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns alongside a rushing touchdown as well. So 5 touchdowns on the day for him, but did throw 2 picks. But look, it's Georgia's defense. It's still really hard to go up against. Stockton was 23 for 31 with 2 passing touchdowns and 304 passing yards. He as well had a rushing touchdown. Frazier was the leading rusher for Georgia with 73 rushing yards on 14 carries. Thomas led Tennessee with 60 rushing yards on 9 carries. The player of the game to me, even though Georgia won the game, was Brazel, the second. 6 receptions, 177 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Now, Young was the receiving leader for Georgia with 73 receiving yards on 4 receptions. And so, yeah, let's go over some other stats real quick that I want to go over. I'm going to go over Aguilar's rushing stats. He had actually -8 rushing yards because of all the times he was sacked, but did have a rushing touchdown. And then for Georgia, the guy that won the game, Josh McCray, didn't get a lot of carries, but he is trusted down in the red zone. 7 carries, 17 rushing yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. And Frazier was the guy that got them the big run to get them down the field in overtime. Chauncey Bowens also had 12 carries for 32 rushing yards. But that Frazier run that he had was a 21-yard run in overtime to get them down the field, and it was the first play of overtime. Then Colby Young was the guy that led them in the receiving yards, but Zachary Branch had 5 receptions, 69 receiving yards. For Tennessee, they had Braylon Staley had 9 receptions and 97 receiving yards and 1 touchdown. It's kind of, underlooked because of how good Brazel was, but Staley was really good for Tennessee too. These wideouts definitely had a great day against Georgia's good defense. And then, both quarterbacks did make mistakes. Maybe it wasn't a Stockton pick like Aguilar had 2 picks, but Stockton had a lost fumble in this game that, was recovered by Bryson Eason. And then, moving on to picks, and also I was wrong. Stockton also threw an interception as well, if I'm correct. I believe, I didn't look at that originally, but Stockton did throw. Oh no, wait, another player threw a pick. Ryan Puglisi threw a pick, number 12. I wasn't watching the game at that time, but a non-player. I don't know if that's a backup quarterback or a wide receiver, or I'm guessing that's a wide receiver, and they really screwed up. I watched most of this game, but I wasn't paying attention at that time. But Stockton did lose a fumble that was recovered by Bryson Eason. Tennessee had the interception that was returned by Ty Redmond on 38-yard return, and then you saw Aguilar's both of his interceptions that were thrown, KJ Bolden and Janelle Agaro. So this was a great game regardless. I was really impressed with what we saw in this one. You guys let me know your thoughts on the game in the comment section, and peace out.